Well, hey there, folks and fellow YouTubers, it's Nuclear Scality 7 here, and in one of today's videos, I'll be doing Part B of my Resident Evil 1 Remake Remastered HD walkthrough. Play through Steam as character Chris Redfield on the I forget what you call it now, actually, like a good hike difficulty, I forgot what you call it now exactly. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and hit load game here. I'm going to go ahead and press this one. Fear can't kill you, but... Alright. I'm going to go ahead and grab a few items from here because I forgot how important they are, and I'm going to add some more ink ribbons there, because that will definitely be very important. Okay, let's go ahead and leave this save room for the time being. Okay, I'm going to go up this fleet of stairs again. Kind of running in, or walking into the wall there a little bit. And I'm going to show you guys where we're going to go next. Now that we've done a lot of things over there for the time being and don't need to go there for the time being as such. Alright. Let's just take a moment to listen to this relaxing, albeit eerie, creepy music. That is very spooky music, no doubt. There's no question about it. Oh, and look at the stars written on the back of Chris's life preserver there. He's a part of that, so it makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and leave this hallway so we can go in and explore what we're going to do next. And we're going to go to an area we have not yet been to. And it's this door here. We're going to go in and explore the room there. Not only that, it has music we have not heard yet. Now, notice the shining object at the top of that statue. That is another map we will get. Well, we don't need to get it, but it definitely couldn't hurt. First, we need to get this object out of the way a little bit, and we're going to also then... we're going to shove it and push it up here. Now, it doesn't really matter what position you put it in near the statue, but I'm going to go ahead and put it more closer in the middle there, more or less anyway. That way, so it's extra easy and convenient to get up there and grab the map. There's a map of the mansion, first floor. Take it? Yes. Now I'm going to point with the arrow where I am right now. It's that white and red object with the red arrow in it. And that is where I am at the current moment. So for those of you at least who are new to Resident Evil or even just haven't played this specific game in a while, that should be useful information, I hope. You've got the map of the mansion first floor. Now I'm going to get down this clothing drawer here, and I'm going to go into this room here. And let's look at that painting or photograph, and let's see what Chris has to say about it. An eerie picture of the mansion. And I can't help but to think of that giant German castle, Neuschwanstein in Bavaria, however you pronounce its name, but yeah. That's what it looks like to me, and obviously it's of the Spencer Mansion. There's nothing of use here. That's all that Chris has to say. And over here, let's look at some more paintings. See if Chris has anything interesting to say about them. Nope, he doesn't. Well, it doesn't matter. And here, we're going to grab a defense item. Another one, that is. Emergency evade. Using defensive items such as daggers will allow you to escape momentarily when grabbed by an enemy. However, you will not be able to escape when the enemy grabs you from behind. So that is important information to know. To equip a defensive item, go to the status screen and then select an item from the defensive menu screen. Then select the equip command. If your defensive item mode is set to manual in the controller settings, you must press E to use the defensive item, that is. Excuse me, I had to use a nasal spray before recording this vid. And I'm going to go ahead and go back over here, but watch what happens. And yes, praise be to Jesus, I have a defensive item should that zombie manage to grab me. As you saw me do there. And the nice thing is you don't have to press a specific button to make it happen. And he's not down just yet, so I'm going to move over here. Unfortunately, I did not manage to explode his head. But luckily, I have one thing left of my fuel canteen, of which I will use to set his body alight. Move out of the way, of course, so that the flame doesn't hurt me as much as it does him. And he shouldn't be a problem now, from now on. Now, about this about this clothing drawer here, I should say. Should you be unsuccessful in either smashing his head or blowing it off, or you don't have a fuel canteen available at the time, you can put it back over there more or less to where it was originally, and you can put it back at the doorway there. So I'm going to go ahead and move it a little over here, not because it's necessary anymore, but so you can know what I mean. So that way, if that zombie should ever come back as a Crimson Head, this should be a good barrier between you and him. So that way he won't be able to come in and hurt you that way. Come and hurt you that way, I should say. Now we're going to go ahead and go through this door here. You use the sword key. Now there's some rather interesting and important items here we will find. First, beneath this object here is another defensive dagger which we can use. See what Chris has to say about it. And notice the window cracked a little bit. Now, an enemy will pop through that, but that won't be a bit until later. Just thought that would be an important thing to mention. Guess Chris has nothing really to say about that. Let's see what he has to say about this one, if anything. There's nothing here but a bunch of ornamental plates. Okay, so this other one is another important thing of which we will need to use. Because beneath it, as you see, that's not what we need to do. Now notice that shiny object? That down there is a handgun magazine. We will use it to add some extra ammo to the pistol, or handgun as it's called sometimes. And so now I'm going to go ahead and go through that door. There, back's not the right word there. And as you can tell, we are now in a completely new and different hallway that we have not even been to yet. You might be able to use it using you might be able to unlock it using an old key. Use the old key? You bet. You use the old key. Now, in this outdoor area, there will be some items of utmost important use. But first, I'm going to press N on the keyboard and see if I have enough room to grab it. And luckily, yes, I do. And it's this bag here of myriad sorts. I'm going to go ahead and refill the fuel canteen with this thing of kerosene. Refill your fuel canteen? Yes. You refilled your fuel canteen with kerosene. Okay. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and grab this item here. Will you take the chemical to use on plants? And I'm going to go ahead and yes. But in one of the save rooms, I'm going to use one of those objects to put it away for now, because it won't serve much in the way of good use at the moment. Okay, let's go ahead and go here, and I'm going to explore this room to my right, pointed with the arrow there, a bit later, as you're going to find out why. It's a little hard to explain now, but mark my words, it will happen. Now, just for future reference, I'm going to go ahead and show you this one area here. I'm going to go to the door to my right. Before we go through it, though, look at some of these interesting medieval European paintings, clearly. I'm going to go through this door. We're going to find a few rather important items of which we can use now. This defensive dagger here. And plus, at the opposite end of this table is some more ink ribbons. Will you take the ink ribbon? Yes. Now, up here is a shotgun of which we can very easily grab. But the thing is, I don't want to grab it now, besides of which I can't because my item select screen menu is obviously just too full at the present moment. And even if it wasn't, we would not want to grab it right now. And that's because if we do just that, it will activate a trap in the other adjacent room we went through to get to this one, of which will be a falling ceiling, and we don't want to do that. We will be able to get it, but what we need to do first is grab a broken shotgun, of which we can use then to replace the one up there. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And even if you go back in there without the falling ceiling crushing you to death, you will be stuck in there, and we definitely don't want to do that. That'd be a pretty stupid thing to do, to say the least. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and go through this door, as we've not been here just yet. We have to be careful, because to my right there is another zombie. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get him to grab my leg. Sadly, I already took him out. But hey, at least I can use my fuel canteen to ignite his body ablaze. And ha 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 ha, he can't come back as a Crimson Head now. Now, to our left is this door here. It's locked. An emblem of armor is carved into the lock. Here's another door we cannot go through just yet. It's locked. The Spencer family emblem is carved into the doorknob. Interesting. We will later, but just not right now. We need a certain something item. I'm surprised you can go through there just yet, but I don't want to, because there are zombie dogs that are going to be jumping through a fence and will be able to get us, and I want to make sure I have a more powerful weapon like a shotgun before I decide to take on those zombie dogs. Now I'm going to go through this door here. I'm going to go back to this save room. I'm not going to save yet because I'm obviously not ending the video just yet. But in this object here, I just want to put away a few things in this giant crate, which is this chemical to use on plants. I will use it later, but I don't want to use it just yet, so I can save up room for a few other items. About half of the kerosene still remains. Refill your fuel canteen? Yes, I'm going to go ahead and do that. You refilled your fuel canteen with kerosene. Hopefully I didn't say refueled. Hopefully I said refilled. Nah, it doesn't matter. I am human, even if I'm a YouTuber. I'm just a mere mortal like you guys watching this. Oh. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go back through this door. And we're going to also go ahead and explore another new area we haven't even been to yet. Okay. We will get to an area we've been to, but it will lead us to somewhere we have not yet been to. And before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and grab that defensive item in the form of a dagger. We use a sword key. See if we can open this one just yet. Ah, man, it's an old-fashioned lock that's rather simple in mechanism. Kind of regret that I did decide to go there first, because we could open it up. That way, oh well, but it is what it is. And notice that zombie coming up the stairs there. I'm going to go ahead and shoot at him, but I'm going to wait for him to reach a certain level at the top of the stairs. And I think he will most likely come back. I'm just going to wait for him to come back up. Ah! I exploded his head. That should save me some fuel in the fuel canteen. Because at least I don't have to use it to dispose of him. Now we have to be careful because there is a zombie. Most likely, at least, he will come back up. We'll see. And since I wasn't able to explode or smash his head, I'm going to go ahead and use the fuel canteen. No, not the map. Fuel canteen. I'm going to move out of the way as quickly as I can. And now at least he can't come back. I've already exploded that zombie's head. I'm going to go ahead and ignite this zombie's corpse ablaze just to make sure he can't come back as a zombie, or even worse, a crimson head. And I've already set his body alight so he can't come back. Now, to our left is another save room through this door that my arrow is pointing at. And of course, there's another giant crate of which we can use to put away items we don't need at the present moment. And of course, as you know, I'm not going to save just yet. Because besides which, there's no important items that need to be used. There are several kinds of serum here. Many of them are of a sickly color. We already read that. Let's see if Chris has anything to say about this object here. Nope. Let's see if Chris has anything interesting to say about these paintings. Fortunately, it doesn't look like he does. But that's okay. Maybe there isn't anything to say. There's nothing but cleaning products inside. It smells faintly unpleasant. Fortunately, it doesn't look like Chris has anything to say about those large windows. It's locked. It's an old-fashioned lock that's rather simple in mechanism. Fortunately, we can't go through there just yet. But I think I might be able to find a way to do just that, though. You unlocked it, and that's what we did. And we're back here again. Now, there are crows down there, but I'm not going to shoot at them because they're very hard to take out. At least that's not what I like to do anyway. A large bird cage. There's a dead raven inside. Gonna go ahead and head through that door. See what Chris has to say about Kenneth's body there. The corpse of your comrade Kenneth. Looks like his throat's been torn out. Oh, gee. That's a brutal and vicious zombie. Now let's see what Chris has to say about this painting. An eerie picture of the mansion decorates the wall. And now we're going to go to that other room that I once... Unfortunately, I don't have a fuel canteen at the moment to light his body on fire. But yeah, we will get some more fuel so we can light his dead corpse ablaze. So he cannot come back as a Crimson Head. Use the sword key. There's no further use for this key. Discard? Yes. And before I go grab that shiny item, I'm going to go ahead and grab this handgun magazine just to replenish my handgun ammo a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have any fuel left in my fuel canteen, so I can't ignite his body ablaze. However, I can go ahead and grab the item here, which is an old key, which we'll be able to use to unlock certain areas we otherwise couldn't get to. Otherwise, we couldn't get to. And now, I'm going to go up to this door and try opening it. But watch what happens here. And this is a bit dumb, but after I've taken out this zombie over here, I'm gonna go ahead and let the one on the floor grab my leg so at least I can smash it that way. Watch. There we go. At least now he can't come back as a Crimson Head that way. Not map, Chris. Other one. Unfortunately, it does say caution, but luckily we can remedy that by finding some health somewhere. That is a nasty stove. In fact, let's see what... This is a really gross and disgusting kitchen. Let's see what Chris has to say about it. First, let's grab the dagger. A piece of meat from an unidentified source. Let's see what Chris has to say about that refrigerator. There's another body. There's another zombie whose body we will have to burn at some point. Luckily, I did smash the head of that one zombie with my boot there. And okay, I'm going to go ahead and go through here because there's nothing we could do about the other two zombies as corpses, unfortunately, at the present moment. Unfortunately, I forgot to do something about that zombie's body, but I think we will be able to do something about it when we go grab some more fuel for our fuel canteen. Kerosene, that is. Not at the present moment. Something I can do is go ahead and grab it now, but then I just put it away in that crate in one of the save rooms. Gonna go ahead and try going up to that one area where I couldn't open it just yet, because you're gonna find out why. Let's take a moment to admire that weird ambient sound. Not the thunder, but it's just I've never really noticed that until playing the game the first few times on the PC, that is here. Go ahead and go through the door there. I can't tell if that's music or if it's just ambient sounds, or maybe a little both. Who knows? Let's see if we can open this door to our right. You might be able to unlock it using an old key. Use the old key? Yes. You use the old key. Now notice this pot of plants here. There are green herbs growing here, but there's only enough for a few uses. Use them? Yes. You have treated your wounds. Now the reason I showed you guys that is because if, say, you need a health herb or a health spray, but your item select menu is too filled to the brim to be able to do that, you can just go there and grab it from that plant pot. I forgot what you call it. Yeah, but you can just grab it there if you should need to replenish your health. And look how that replenished my health. So again, just to say it a little more clearly and lucidly, if again you need a health spray or a green herb, but you don't have enough space on your item select menu to do that, you can just grab your health from here. And of course I don't need to use them right now because I've replenished my health. But that is one way you can replenish your health, is by grabbing some green herbs from that stationary pot there of plants. And let's take a moment to admire this gothic atmosphere outside quickly. Let's just let Chris stand still a moment so we can do just that. But that pot of green herbs there is something I've wanted to show you guys in this video at some point, and luckily I managed to do that now that I got an old key needed to unlock that one specific door. But that pot of green herbs that is stationary can replenish your health, if not one you just grab somewhere in or around the mansion. Okay. Man, this game has an amazing atmosphere, to say the least. Let's see if we can go through this door here. You unlocked it. And yes, I somehow managed to unlock it. Okay. And now we can go through this door now that I've unlocked it. He's not there anymore for some reason. It's locked. An emblem of a helmet is carved into the lock. And I'm just going to go to that save room here, just so I can put away that shield, because I don't need it at the current moment. Let's see if we can go ahead and open this door to our right. Unfortunately, no. It's an old-fashioned lock that's rather simple mechanism. Let's just see if we can find an old key somewhere around here, because that's how I got to open that other door that said that same thing. A lock that's rather simple in mechanism, as Chris himself said there just now. It's locked from the other side. Yes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go back downstairs. It's always a freaky thought to imagine if what would happen if I didn't dispose of the zombie in that room properly, and the idea of him coming back as a Crimson Head. Now, we're going to have to be a little careful going through this area here, because some enemies might be able to pop through the windows. Luckily, it didn't happen that time. Oh, and I know where we need to grab an old key. This room here. I just suddenly thought of that. I just realized that all of a sudden. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and do something with this bathtub here. It's full of dirty water. Remove the plug? Yes. Dumb, stupid zombie. And let's ignite his... Oh man, I somehow was dumb enough to use up all my fuel. But we've got an old key of which we can finally use to open up one of those doors downstairs. Upstairs, I should say. Just something caught me out of the corner of my eye. I wonder if it's anything important or even just useful there. Sound more like a sci-fi door, but hey. I'm gonna go ahead and go through this door here. So I'm gonna find somewhere to go. About half of the kerosene still remains. Refill your fuel canteen? Yes. You refilled your fuel canteen with kerosene. I don't know why I always say refueled. I must be getting tired or something. See if there's any items that could be of use at the current moment. Nope, not at the moment. At least not from what I can tell. Now that I've refilled my fuel canteen with kerosene, I'm going to go ahead and light that one zombie's body on fire so that he cannot, again, come back as a Crimson Head. The doorknob looks like it's falling apart. Go through anyway? I'm going to go ahead and yes, just so I can more quickly and accessibly get to that one zombie's body so I can torch it to make sure it can't come back as a so-called Crimson Head. So we're going to have to go back to that one bathroom area to do just that, unfortunately. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, it's time to set you alight, buddy. It's time to combust you. Ah, voila, he cannot come back as a Crimson Head now. And let's go ahead and go to the very early part of the game where we started so we can torch the body of that other zombie. The first one that we met in the game, that is. Just as a means of making sure he can't be a problem later on. Oh! Yes, eventually the dogs will come through the windows. Sometimes you'll be able to get out of their way, but other times not so much, as you saw happen to me just now. Come on, get off, boy. I'm sure I'm gonna need some health after that, unfortunately. Yes, my health meter is saying caution at the top left of the item select menu. I'm gonna go ahead and set this zombie's body ablaze, the very first one we met at the beginning of the game, just to make sure he cannot come back as a Crimson Head. And there we go. Now he can't come back. We had to, again, waste a little bit of kerosene, but you gotta do what you gotta do when disposing of zombies, of course. The good thing, as I said before, is he cannot come back as a Crimson Head. Now, I'm gonna figure out a way to... Oh, that was creepy. I thought that was the footsteps of a Crimson Head for a moment. And trust me, I know what it sounds like, because I've played this game many times before, and as such, I've encountered many Crimson Heads along the way. Before we go anywhere, I wonder if Chris has anything to say about this pot of tea here. Teapot on there, I should say. And, just before I go do anything else, I'm going to grab that green herb, because I'm going to replenish my health. That will then diminish any chances of my getting killed along the way. And now I'm on the fine meter, which is a good thing. Let's see, should we go ahead and go through here? Ah, and my intuition led me to where we need to go. What do you know? So I'm going to go ahead and go down here, because I'm going to see if I can't use that old key to open that otherwise inaccessible door, which I think I will be able to, but let's go check to make sure. You might be able to unlock it using an old key. Use the old key? Yes. You use the old key. And in this room that we're going to explore right now has some very important items. First, here's a new type of defense item. Will you take the flash grenade? Yes. Of which I think you can use to put into a zombie's mouth and then shoot it, and then that way it can explode, blowing its head to bits. Now, before we go to do too much of anything else, there's another set of ink ribbons, so that way we can replenish it a little bit. Oh, and here's a fuel. Here's a thing of kerosene should you need it. And yes, I definitely need it right now. There's still plenty of kerosene left. Refill your fuel canteen? Yes. You refilled your fuel canteen with kerosene. And before we leave this room, we've got to grab a very important item. Will you take the broken shotgun? Yes, and that's the item I was talking about, of which we're going to use to grab the other shotgun from that other room and then replace it with that broken shotgun. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and head on back upstairs. And I'm going to go back up here. Nope, this way, Chris. Up, Chris, not down. Now, maybe going through the other way will be a little safer so we don't have to worry about those dogs. And I'm not going to light this zombie's corpse ablaze just yet, because when you try to do that, he will come up as a Crimson Head, and I want to make sure I have a more powerful gun on hand, like a shotgun. Because at least it will at least make it more easy and more convenient to take them out that way. Okay, and I'm going to turn to my right here. Gonna go ahead and go downstairs. We might have to try and evade those dogs that jumped through the windows in that one hallway, but hey, going around in circles there a little bit, Chris? You always make the same expression, irregardless of how dangerous the situation may or may not be. And so again, when I go through this door, I'm not gonna try killing the zombie dogs just yet. I'm just going to run past them, and again, we may or we may not be able to get out of their way before they try and chomp us. We'll see. Ah, unfortunately, they managed to grab my... Get off, you punk of a skunk! That is an angry, pissed-off sounding zombie mutt. Just check my health. Yeah, unfortunately it's at caution, but no problem. We'll grab some... Maybe we can grab some herbs in this outdoor area here. Hopefully those dogs didn't manage to jump the fence, but they might have. Unfortunately, one of them did. Hopefully we can get out of the way fast enough. Praise be to Jesus I managed to do that. I don't know why I risked my health a little bit just to grab another source of health, but hey, it is what it is sometimes. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the herb here, just while I'm contemplating it. I'm going to go through this room here, because this is where we're going to grab our shotgun and then replace it with the other broken shotgun. Okay. Okay, now let's just make sure I have enough room there. I thought I did. I just wanted to double check, though. So I'm going to grab this beauty here. Will you take the shotgun? Yes. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to use a broken shotgun and put it in the place where the other shotgun originally was. Watch. So now I can grab the good shotgun without the trap being activated, which is the falling ceiling that would have otherwise crushed us or locked us in that one room. That's not a pleasant thought to imagine being stuck in there. Because I remember way back when, almost 20 years ago, in 2003, there was that part where I, as a safety measure, I went into the room to the left, and I didn't get crushed, but I got locked in that door, and to this day, I always think to myself, Chris, why are you not screaming at the top of your lungs about that? Now, it may seem a little repetitive that we're going through the same areas of the mansion at the moment, but remember, the Spencer Mansion is a big place, so we will eventually have the keys needed to unlock brand new areas. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and head down this area of the hallway here. And I'm going to head in this direction. Voila. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. Because we're going to go downstairs to that new save area. Just to keep you on the straight and narrow, Chris. So you're not running into things you shouldn't be running into. I'm going to go to the crate here to see if there's anything I want to put away for the time being. Nope, but I am going to go ahead and grab the shotgun shells. I'm going to replace the combat or survival knife with the shotgun. And I'm going to go ahead and equip the shotgun, of which I will use to take out some of those zombie dogs. It's an old typewriter. You can save your progress. Use the ink ribbon. Ah, medical storage room. That's where I saved this time. Well there, folks. I believe that will end Part B of my Resident Evil 1 Remake Remastered HD walkthrough. And remember, if you like this video, please hit the like button below. And if you want to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button below, and I shall see you all when I see you all in the next video, folks. Till then, though, my name is Nuclear Skull 7. Now, just a few things I want to say before I end this video, which is, a couple minutes before I started recording this video, I checked how many views my first video for the walkthrough video for this game got, and it's only a day old, and it's already accumulated 20 views, which I think is cool, because I think that says something about how it's worth playing a walkthrough of the Resident Evil game at this time. And I think partly because the game is pretty popular due to the fact that just a couple days ago, it was the very original PS1 game's 25th anniversary. And we'll see how many views this video gets. A little bit less than a day after it's been uploaded. And okay, I will see you all later, folks. Bye-bye for now, and have an excellent rest of your day. Amen.